Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hello everyone, Craig here with another great business to discuss in this episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. Today's guest is Juan, and he's selling his Amazon KDP business on the Empire Flippers marketplace. So welcome to the show, Juan. How are you doing today?
Hello, Craig. I'm fine. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you for asking. And I'm looking forward to talking more about your business. But before we dive in, let's go over a brief summary of the business. It's an Amazon KDP business in the books niche, created in January 2014. The average monthly revenue for the business is $8,418, and it makes an average of $6,501 net profit each month. For everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 54326 to learn more about the business. Or you can unlock this listing to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing this asset. So now that I've given a general overview of the business, let's have a look at what's included in the sale. We have the Amazon KDP account with 100 physical books and ebooks, 9 audio books. And we also have the writer contact details. Okay, Juan, now let's hear from you. Can you tell us a little about your background in building and running online businesses?
Yes. Actually, I started this business when I was 17 years old. I was still in high school. And just so that the people who are listening to this interview know, like, English is not my first language. I live in Mexico. I was born in Mexico, so Spanish is my first language. Well, I was just a young kid I had the desire to build an online business so that I can earn some money alongside with my studies. And that's how I got started. So I learned about KDP and how it was possible to make some passive income publishing ebooks on Amazon. And I gave it a try and got started with only $300 that I have in my savings. And that's how I got involved with it. Well, across all these years, there's been a lot of ups and downs, and it's been an incredible ride, a very exciting adventure. And yeah, that's how I got started. Well, I guess that's it for this question.
Wow, that's a very inspiring story, starting out at such a young age. Excellent. So why did you choose Amazon KDP business model in particular, as opposed, instead of something like Amazon FBA or e-commerce or even a content site like affiliate marketing or something?
I actually didn't know about other alternatives, and I came across publishing on KDP because, if I remember correctly, I saw a course about how to make money publishing books and decided to give it a go. And that's how I got started in this online business world. And well, a couple of years later was that I learned that there were other business models, FBA or drop shipping or building a site. This is what I knew back then, and I'm glad that I came across publishing because, in my opinion, is the best way to earn passive income online at the moment.
Yeah, I'm interested. Could you tell us a little about the journey with the business, like how you started launching books and how you gained traffic and all those things? How did you build the business to where it is today?
Well, if people get to unlock the listing, if someone that's listening to this interview right now gets to unlock the listing, you're going to get access to the catalog of books. You can see them on Amazon. So the thing here is that when I started, I only published ebooks back then, and they were short ebooks around maybe 30 to 50 pages long, very short ebooks. Well, on a variety of topics, nonfiction topics. And the business model back then was just to sell ebooks at $2.99 on Amazon. And that's how I started to get some traction and some cash flow. And back then it was a matter of having a lot of books, having a large portfolio of short books. And that's how I got started. It was back in 2014. And since then, the market on Amazon has changed a lot. There's been a lot of changes to Amazon's algorithm. but I've seen those changes along the years and have adapted to them. And I just know maybe more than the average publisher about the history of Amazon KDP and how people have made money with it.
Absolutely, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Why did you choose this niche in particular?
Actually, my books are not all in one niche. They're spread across a variety of niches, a variety of topics. And I did it that way because it was a lot of trial and error. I needed to experiment with different topics. And that's how I built this business, just trying one niche. And some of them were profitable, some of them were not. But it's just to be open and willing to experiment. And if you have an idea of a book you want to make, just to give it a go and try your best,
Absolutely, yeah. There's a lot of trial and error involved in starting any business. So the business earns through Amazon KDP, but you also sell on Ingram Spark. Could you tell us a little about how the business makes money?
Yeah, for sure. Well, the majority of the sales and the traffic come from Amazon searches. So people are searching a particular topic or a particular keyword, or they're looking at similar books and they see my books there on the search as well. So yeah, the main traffic comes from Amazon. And about Ingram Spark is another platform where you can sell the books to wholesale buyers, making a bigger order, let's say 10, 20 or more copies at a time. And they would sell them on bookstores or on other places that they want to distribute your books. So yeah, the Ingram Spark account, I only started that a couple of years ago and only have like 9 or 10 books there. It has a lot of potential, I haven't dedicated much time to that, but it has a lot of potential. I know a lot of fellow publishers are making a ton of money on Ingram Spark, so that would be a cool opportunity for the new owner of the business to explore. And also including the sale is the EX account, which is the audiobook creation program that, Amazon owns that company. So I have an account there as well. And I only have like 9 audiobooks. That's a cool opportunity as well, to take many of the books from the portfolio and get them narrated. And right now the audiobook market is growing very fast. So it's a cool opportunity for growth as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good that you've set up on other channels to diversify the earnings of the business. And yeah, you've had this business for so long. So why are you selling it right now?
Personally, come to a point where I've been doing this for many years, and I'm happy to receive the passive income that I get from the book royalties. But I kind of need like a new challenge. Personally, I want to try a new venture on another industry. Just, like a personal challenge. I've been successful with publishing, but now I want to try a different business model. I don't know yet what I want to do, but it's just I want to try something new. That's the main reason.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair enough. Was there anything you've learned from this business that you will apply to a new business that you might build?
Well, what I've learned along these years, there's a lot of things. When I got started, as I was telling you, I had no skills. I had no online business experience or maybe any kind of business experience at all. I was just 17 years old. And English is not my first language. So, all the books that I published are in English, or at least most of them. So I've had to improve my English language skills. Just to sell books to the English-speaking market, I have to learn about all the process of making a book, contacting ghostwriters, contacting designers. I had to learn a lot of marketing skills, copywriting, and now, of course, advertising and PPC. So, of course, there's a lot of learning involved. There's a learning curve to be a successful publisher. But all these are skills that I'm taking with me to any new business venture that I get into, and very, very valuable. Just the process of building and growing in a publishing business will make you a better entrepreneur. It will help you develop new skills that you can apply on other businesses and other industries.
Absolutely, yeah, and very well done for going into an English-speaking market when it's not your first language. I'm trying to learn Portuguese. I know how difficult it is to try and speak another language, so hats off to you there. When growing this business, was there anything you tried that didn't really work for you?
Well, of course, a lot of things. Most of our ideas actually we give it a try, and then we find out that they were not as good or as bright ideas as we thought. But that's part of the process, like what didn't work well. A lot of book topics that I publish books about didn't have the enough demand, or there was too much competition, or I just couldn't communicate the value of the book properly. But all these things are good lessons that you get by trying and experimenting. And that's how you find the goal. That's how you find the right niche and the right topic. And you just do it by experimenting, by being brave and taking risks. And yeah, a lot of things we try they do not work, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure a lot of entrepreneurs will resonate with that. So you mentioned that you do advertising for the business. Where does the majority of the traffic come from?
Yes, I do advertising inside Amazon. It's called AMS Ads. So basically what it does is it's a PPC advertising. So you make a bid on a keyword so that when people search for that keyword or similar keywords, you appear on the first page or at the top of the first page, depending how much you bid. So that's a good way to bring a lot more traffic to your book page, so that people can find it. If you only rely on organic traffic, nowadays it's very, very difficult to rank on the first page unless that book has a long history of making good and consistent sales. Right now, my best-selling books, they are on the first page for many keywords organically, but that takes many, many years to achieve, and it's difficult. So the best way when you're publishing new books is you rely a lot more on advertising to get traffic inside Amazon. But even with old books that have selling well, if your ads are profitable, then that's where most of the traffic comes from.
Yeah, and it's great for a buyer to know they've got a book that's organically ranking as well. That's definitely a strong point of the business. We talked a bit about this, but if you were to keep the business, what are some ways that you would try to grow it?
Well, that's a good question. As I was telling you, I would explore more the opportunity with Ingram Spark, with audiobooks as well. I haven't put a lot of attention there, but I know there are great opportunities because you already have the manuscript, the book that you're selling as an ebook or as a paperback. So it's worth it to just get it narrated and try it as an audiobook as well. Also, for the best-selling books, I would try to build a kind of a brand around that, maybe on social media and building an email list, because I haven't done that with those books. And of course, I believe it would be a good opportunity to build a brand, to build an online presence outside of Amazon and bring some traffic from outside, from social media or from a blog or from other sources, just to sell more copies and maybe build an email list and sell affiliate products, or you can just connect it with other kind of business that you have.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. As for the day-to-day work on this business, can you describe the amount and type of work you do on this business for maintenance?
Yes, just to keep the current amount of sales and royalties. The Amazon ads, once you have them optimized, you don't have to touch them a lot. So maybe just once a week, check them. I honestly don't spend a lot of time there. So it would be maybe an hour a week checking how the ads are performing. If you know about PPC ads, you can manage them yourself, or you can hire someone to manage them for you, or you can hire an agency to manage them for you. This is just like a personal thing that I like, and to look at the ads and look at what keywords are performing and which keywords are not. So just to maintain the normal amount of sales and royalties is just, I would say, maybe 1 hour or maximum 2 hours per week. If you want to grow the business and publish new books, of course, that's an activity that will take you more time, contacting writers, designers, and all that good stuff. But just to maintain the current state of the business, I would say that 1 to 2 hours per week.
Yeah, got it. And what skills or requirements are there for someone who is not familiar with this niche or business model?
Well, it depends, if you just want to maintain the business as it is and just receive passive income from the royalties of the books, there's not much skills you need. Maybe just know a little bit about ads, about PPC. But as I was saying, if you don't understand about ads or don't care or don't want to get involved in that, you can just hire someone who does or an agency. But if you want to grow the business and you want to publish more books, as I was saying, and I want to be very honest with you here, there's a learning curve just to understand what the market wants, what the reader wants, to learn about copywriting, to learn how to hire good writers, how to make a good cover that's eye-catching. There's a learning curve there, but there's a lot of excellent courses about publishing that you can take and start to develop all these good skills that you're going to need if you want to grow the business.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. What do you think are the biggest risks with this business that a buyer should be aware of?
Maybe the biggest risk is if you do something against Amazon's terms of service. So you need to just stay on the good side of Amazon because, selling on KDP or on FBA or whatever business model that you are relying on Amazon's traffic, you need to understand that selling on their page is not a right, it is a privilege. So you need to always stay on the good side with them and don't do anything that breaks their terms of services. Just be mindful about that. And I would say that's the biggest risk, that you do something against their terms or the rules and then they cancel your account. It's very easy just to have a good relationship with them if you're doing things the right way,
Yeah, certainly. That's a very good point, saying it's a privilege to be selling on Amazon. Yeah. Okay, well, excellent stuff. Overall, putting yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why do you think this is a business worth buying?
Well, I think it depends on the profile of the buyer. If you just want a business that brings in consistent passive income, this is a great business to buy because it's very low maintenance. The books that brings the most royalties are very, very solid. They've been on the market for many years. They have hundreds of reviews, so they're not going anywhere. They're very well-established books, and there's very little amount of work involved with just keeping that revenue and that royalties coming in. If that's the kind of buyer you are, maybe it's a good opportunity for you. If you're a buyer who wants to grow the business, of course, as I was telling earlier, some areas of opportunity for growth, the audiobook market, the wholesale market with Ingram Spark, building a brand, bringing social media presence. But I do want to be very honest that you're going to need to learn the skills and it will take time, but you can absolutely do it. If I did it as a young kid with English not being my first language, I believe that a buyer can do it as well. And I believe that's it,
Yeah, a lot of valid points. So, regarding the sale of this business, would you commit to a non-compete?
Yes, I would. Although there's a couple of things that I want to discuss with the potential buyer that I've already talked with the team of the Empire Flippers team. But of course, I wouldn't compete within the same niche or same topics. It's just about, I have a personal book that doesn't make many sales, but it's a book that I wrote myself. And I just want to keep the rights for that book. It's just a personal thing that I would have to discuss with a potential buyer. But apart from that, of course, I'm not interested in competing against my business and the new owner's business.
Okay. And how much support are you willing to offer buyers? Are you going for the standard 30 days of email and Skype support?
As much as needed. I'll be very glad and very happy to help the buyer with anything he or she needs. 30 days sounds fair, but if they need more, I'll be happy to give the support,
And are you open to negotiating something like an earnout?
Well, maybe. Depends on the structure of the deal, but it could be.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to share that I might have missed?
I don't know, Craig. I think this is a good interview. What else I can share? It's just that, well, as I was saying before, if I was able to build this business, just being a young high school kid and English not being my first language, to me that means that anyone can do it. Anyone that has capital to invest in a business like this, that is smart, that wants to work on this business. I believe maybe there are a lot more capable and qualified in me to take it to the next level, So that's it for now. Thank you a lot for your time, Craig, and it was very good talking to you.
Brilliant. Yeah, certainly an inspiring story. So thank you very much for your time. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 54326. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. Once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.